Sri Lanka is a small tropical island in the south of India. Nature there is beautiful and colorful. It is known for centuries as a gem island, and its soil is rich in gems. In Sri Lanka, sapphires are king. The finest blue sapphire are called peacock blue, after one of the emblematic birds of Sri Lanka. Sapphire deposits are found mainly around Ratnapura, Elaira and Kataragama, while Galle, Berriwala and Colombo are the main trading centers. In its desire to provide a reliable service to the trade regarding origin determination of gemstone, the GIA must establish a solid reference collection. This is the reason why we are traveling regularly to Sri Lanka in order to collect the sample GIA needs for its collection. As a school, the GIA is also involved in education, and therefore we are also interested to document all aspects of the industry in Sri Lanka. From gem mining to trading, it is also great to witness how the Sri Lankan transform their gem with different cutting and polishing technique, either traditional or modern. Usually a field expedition starts visiting a gem market. This is a great place to meet people, see stone and get news about new production, new deposit and their locations.
This is a Niwitigala gem market, so it's a market specialized on rough stone, especially Gouda.
Sometimes buying few interesting specimens is a good way to break the ice with gem merchants in order to see better stones.
So you come here to buy rough stone, and then you bring them back in Berriwala, you do heat treatment, you cut and you polish. And then you sell in the market in Berriwala on Saturday.
If listening is useful, a field gemologist must visit the mining site where the gems are found.
We will go to see the mining activity in the paddy field around the place, where you have several families working on the paddy field in order to have some additional income.
In this island full of traditions, most of the mines are family-run or are worked as partnership between miners and landowners. In Sri Lanka, sapphires are mainly found from secondary deposits, resulting from the weathering of rocks that formed hundreds of million years ago. Gems are then found in gravel under shallow soil. Mining is usually done either with an open pit or by tunneling under the paddy fields.
All these paddy fields, all these valleys are potential gem traps. So what the miners are doing is they are digging a vertical pit in order to reach a layer of gravels. When they reach this area where you have gravel, they will dig horizontal pit. They are building these square pits that are going down with big piece of wood, bamboo and fern. So it's strong enough to hold the mud, but flexible enough to be able to move with the earth.
In order to understand the mining process and document it, we often have to go underground. There are three different mining techniques in Sri Lanka. One is mining under the paddy fields. It requires a lot of experience and technical knowledge to mine safely underground despite the water. The use of wood and ferns allows the water to pass but retains the mud. Then they need to pump the water out to be able to mine. Traveling between mining areas is often done on difficult roads. If the paddy fields of Sri Lanka can be rich in gems, it can be the same with the surrounding hills. Gems can be found sometimes in tea plantations.
Here in Sri Lanka, this is what people call hill-type mines, that is mainly occurring, in tea plantations, because tea plantations usually are on the hillside. On the hill, you have more stone a little bit everywhere. So this miner is digging between the rocks, trying to collect all the ground that is there in order to go to wash. It's very clean. There are few small inclusions inside. The stone is quite good.
Each mine is a new opportunity to add sample to the GA collection. Sometimes we found miners in rivers using long wood tools. This technique is very old and specific. This is the third traditional mining technique used in Sri Lanka.
We are on the Kaluganga River near Ratnapura, and you have a group of miners mining in the river. But these mines are not really legal, so they are quite afraid. They are using long shovels in order to collect, the gravel, and collect them, and they put them at the side, under their feet. So like that, the river, is taking away all the mud, and they are concentrating the gravel under their feet. At the end of the day, they will collect everything they have dredged, and they will finish the washing, and hopefully they will be able to get some stone.
If many mines in Sri Lanka are small scale, in some rich area, mines are actually profitable enough to be mechanized. The next step in this expedition is to witness mechanized mining.
Everybody knows about the traditional mining technique that we have seen during the past few days, but very few people know that there are also a lot of large-scale mechanized mines here in Sri Lanka that are contributing a lot to the production of sapphire of the country.
For the GA, it is important to get samples from many different types of mines, traditional or mechanized.
I'm quite happy about the small blue sapphire. It's a nice gem quality piece.
After collecting samples, we document and label them carefully, but we never get enough of them, so we're often back looking for more stone and meeting more people.
You can buy any stone you can buy, but no problem.
Now most of the business here in Beruala is organized two ways. Some business happen in the street, but most of the foreign buyers who are coming in Sri Lanka go to see stone in an office. So they are using a broker to go to see stone in an office. And this is what we are going to do. We are going to the office of one of my old friends in Sri Lanka.
Ratnapura, obviously being closer to all the mining areas, you find a lot of rough, and in Beruala you would find a lot of faceted or finished goods.
Some of the small stones, they have some minute particles, they are smoky, they are milky. When you heat them, you can increase the color. So you can have small Sri Lankan sapphire with good color, but most of them will be heated.
To learn more about heat treatment, we are going to meet Master Simon, one of the last traditional blowpipe burners. Heat treatment is used to try to improve the color of gemstone for at least 1,000 years.
So this technique is called blowpipe. You can see that Master Simon is using a pipe and he is blowing in the pipe. Depending on the stone he is heating, he will do that for 1, 2 or 3 hours. If the pink sapphire is a little bit purplish, you can turn the stone into a straight pink. And also in some blue sapphire, if the stone is a little bit too dark, you can reuse the blue color, make the blue color a little bit more medium.
If traditional method can be efficient, with progress in science, some modern techniques were developed enabling a better control of both temperature and atmosphere.
With this furnace, you are mainly doing heat treatment of sapphire?
Yes.
So it's mainly a gas furnace?
Yes.
So you have a bottle of gas and then you are using natural gas?
Only natural gas.
Only natural gas to heat the stone.
With modern furnaces, the burner fine-tuned his art.
Mr. Pardieu has a lot of experience, 31 years experience with the sapphire business. What he is doing, you need a lot of expertise. It's the result of years of practice and a lot of studies.
The field gemology department is an important asset for the GA to get reliable information about gem deposits. Some of the main challenge is that if miners are afraid to talk, merchants like to tell stories. Finding new deposits sometimes deep in the jungle and visiting them is often the result of a long investigation. And for that, the support of local people is critical.
Now they are cleaning the surface. Now they can, take the illam from there.
Actually, it is often an exchange between the miners and us. While we witness and learn from their activity, we also share our experience with them.
We are going to take some rock samples over there.
Gem mining is hard work, but it can be also very rewarding. The Pearl of the Indian Ocean has not finished to reveal all its secrets, and it will take many GA expeditions to explore and document its mysteries. Sri Lanka is a perfect example of a place where we can meet the gems, the place and the people.
There is still a huge potential. There are a lot of areas where you have potentially sapphire and that were never mined. So I think we don't have finished to visit Sri Lanka. I will probably continue to visit Sri Lanka 1 or twice a year for the next 5 to 10 or maybe 15 or 20 years.